Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to another video with your boy, GorTheMovieGod. And even though my name's GorTheMovieGod, we talking about video games right now. So sit back, relax, get your nice cup of whatever nondescript liquid that you put in your body, and let's talk about the games that I finished for 2019. But before we get to it, I want to let everybody know that I love you. That's not what I was going to say. I want to know everybody's games they finished in 2019. So even if you're a casual gamer, an expert, or whatever, intermediate, whatever other words you want to use to describe you as a gamer, let me know what you finished in 2019. Hell, even if you didn't finish anything, just let me know what you played. Anything that really caught you by surprise, something that you hated, I don't care. Just tell me anything. Tell me your shoe size, I don't care. Whatever you want to tell me in the comments. I'll read it. I read all the comments. I might not reply to a lot of them. Not gonna lie, I don't. When I put stuff on YouTube, I try to stay away from YouTube as much as possible because it's a very negative place. Not that my comments are negative. I mean, sometimes they are when I get a big viewed video that gets a lot of dislikes because I talk over some trailers. I get dislike. I mean, I get mean comments, but most of them don't really bother me too much. It's just I like to stay off YouTube and get away from the negative. You can't cover yourself in negative too much or surround yourself in negative shit. And the internet is very negative. It's I would say 80% negative. About 15% positive. 5% like neutral or like rogue. Sometimes they're positive, sometimes they're negative. Anyway, let's talk about the games that I finished in 2019. Now, these are games that are not just games that came out in 2019, just games I played during the year of 2019. So January 1st all the way to December 31st. These are the games I played and beat in the span of those 12 months. So let's get to it. I'm actually gonna do it. Let's get to it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it a little bit differently. I'm actually gonna show images, kind of. Last year I did a video where it was just me reading a list, and I'm still gonna do that. I'm still gonna read a list, I guess. But you're gonna see some visuals. So if you're scanning through this video, clicking through it, if you just want to know what games I finished, then you can. I know some people do that. And now you can because you can just scan through the video and see the pictures. So, all right. So first game I beat of the year, and it was like, it's gonna be hard to even talk about this game because I don't remember too much about it. It's a game called Planet of the Eyes. This game is Limbo-esque. I mean, it's a platformer. I mean, Limbo didn't invent platformers, but it has a similar vibe to Limbo when it comes to its controls and just the things you do in the game. There's like puzzles and there's no real combat. At least I don't remember there being combat. I don't know. So it reminded me of Limbo, but it's definitely more cutesy. There's a narrative to it where there's actually, you play as a little robot, that little guy that's about to die. You just roam around the environment collecting like audio logs from the guy that created you, I'm assuming. Again, I don't remember too much about the story. And you just get audio logs, so he's talking like, ooh, I don't know, he says things, I don't even remember. But it's like a 3-hour game, I think. I don't even know why I played it. I just started it, and I was like, let me finish it. And it had a semi-interesting way of telling its story with the audio logs and the robot just learning it. The best part of this game is that there is a button dedicated to the robot dancing. So he just starts dancing, and no point to it. I just liked it. So there you go. Planet of the Eyes, first game I beat this year. Next game I beat, which is a game that was on my top 5 best games of last year, which I will have a top. I think I'll probably just do a top 5 best games of 2019. Probably soon. I'll probably do it in like a couple days. And that is Greece. Now, Greece, or Gris, or Grice, I don't care. I'm going to call it Greece. Greece. I'll say it like that with an accent. Greece was similar to Planet of the Eyes. There wasn't really much combat to it, but it was all visual. It's all about the visual storytelling, and it's pretty. Here, let me move it like right there. That's good. That was actually pretty much exactly where I was before. Whatever. It's pretty beautiful. It's very, very beautiful, actually. It's probably the most beautiful art style I've seen in a video game this gen. And there's a lot of games that could fill it. Like Ori and the Blind Forest could fill that. Cuphead could fill that. But Greece really blew me away. It was a phenomenal looking game. I loved it. I really did. So Greece was great. Had a pretty... It had a story that was very... I don't want to say abstract. It was very... It wasn't what's the word I'm looking for? It's not. You have to figure it out yourself. It's kind of like Limbo, I guess. So far, everything's Limbo. Where Limbo doesn't tell you exactly. There's no audio logs like in Planet of the Eyes to tell you what's going on in this story. But it's a little bit more obvious what's going on, I guess, in the long run. Overall, whatever. I'm bad at coming up with words to say. Anyway, next is Resident Evil 2, of course. That came out January. Beat the shit out of this game. Loved it. Played both Leon and Claire's campaigns. To be fair, I didn't finish the entire thing, I guess, because I didn't finish the B playthroughs. But to be fair, I beat the game twice, and the game's not that different when it goes to the B side for both Leon and Claire. I do want to go back and finish at least one of them, but they're not different enough. I know exactly what's different about them. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool what they do. Just like they did in the original Resident Evil 2, but it's not really, if you beat it with one, you beat the game. You don't need to play the B side, of the other person, I guess. So I beat it twice, 2.5 times, really. I got like halfway through B for Leon. And I do want to go back to it. I really do, because I really want to play some more, but now I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't, because Resident Evil 3 is coming out in like 3 months, which I'm super excited. But Resident Evil 2 was a great game. So I really enjoyed that. Great game. Probably my favorite game of last year. Spoilers. We'll see, though. Outer Worlds is getting there. And I do want to finish that in the next couple of days. So maybe I'll wait until I'm done with the Outer Worlds to do my top 5. But we'll see. I'm really close to the end for the Outer Worlds, I believe. Anyway, next is a walking sim. I played a lot of games like this where it's just like no combat or whatever. But these are the type of games I really like to play while I'm like listening to a podcast and stuff. Gone Home is not exactly the perfect game to do that with because there's a lot of storytelling in the game. But it's like an hour and a half game. You most likely know what it is. It was very popular back in 2014 when it came out. But it was on Xbox One. It came out a couple of years ago, I think, on Xbox One. And I had it since. And I never finished it the first time. I knew how it ended, but I never finished it the first time because my computer was crappy. I had a laptop that was kind of crappy. And I had to play it on the low settings because I really wanted to play it because I heard it was so good. And I bought it, played it, and like halfway through something happened where I just couldn't play it anymore. I think my computer just couldn't handle it anymore. Because it is a very good looking game, at least for 2014 standards or 2013, whichever year. And it's a great story. It really is. It has a very spooky atmosphere. At first, when I first played it, it legit scared me, the game. It was like actually really spooky. Just the atmosphere, it's like thundering and lightning outside. It's dark all throughout the house. There's no horror threat at all. There's nothing, no hidey holes you have to go into to escape the ghost that for some reason doesn't know you're in a hole. I don't know. It never makes sense in those games where you have to hide from a ghost. I'm like, a ghost can just go through a wall. Like, how does it not know you're there? Ghosts always know. Have you seen any of the shitty horror movies that have been coming out the last few years? They always jump scare people. Come on. But yeah, Gone Home was great. So, great game. Next, Crackdown 3. All right. One of the few games this year that I actually reviewed. Look at that. Here, let me make sure everything's good. Yeah, one of the few games this year I actually reviewed. Of the 3 games I reviewed, Days Gone, and Rage 2. Those are only games I reviewed, unless I'm forgetting something. I think that's it. I actually did a legit review for this one too. It was actually a review, not like a me just in front of a camera talking. I actually edited it and put like game footage. I want to do that more often, but when it comes to gaming, I don't game as much as I used to, which is weird because now I have more games than I ever had in my entire life. But I don't game as much. It's just, I guess because I have so much, it's just like I don't know what to play. I have so much. I could play that, but I could play this. Like I have like 14 different games. That's the plight of a game collector, I guess. It's just like I have so much stuff I play, I just don't end up playing any of it. But Crackdown 3, I know everybody considers it one of the worst games of the year. I don't know. It's like a 6.5. Maybe it's just a regular 6. It's fine. It's above average. It's fun. It lasts you about 8 hours. You don't really get bored of it. I mean, I guess you kind of do. I was getting a little bored of it towards the end. But by the time I was getting really bored with it, where I'm just like, I wanted it to end, it ends. The story is not great. The writing's not really all that funny. But the gameplay, the central gameplay was fun enough. It just felt like a game that should have came out in 2012. 2 years after Crackdown 2, but it came out in 2019, and we're at the end of this gen. Should have came out in the beginning of this gen, but he came out at the end of the gen. Nah, but it was a Game Pass title, so I didn't need to pay for it. That's always a good. That's always a plus. Anyway, Crackdown 3, and we're gonna pause real quick so I can get more of the titles up. All right, we're back. What's up? Sorry for the 1 second delay there. I'm like, is it good? We're good. All right, so next game obviously is Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. This is the one that came out like a couple days after they announced Borderlands 3. And I finished all of Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. I actually finished all of Borderlands when it first came out, including all the DLC. I think I might have not finished one. I finished all of the regular Borderlands campaign. I think I finished one other DLC, and I played Underdome. And then I was like, I'm good. I should probably play Borderlands 2 again because I haven't played that in a long time, and I didn't. I even finished Borderlands 3. I'll just tell you right now, that's not going to be on this list, even though it was great. It's one of my favorite games of the year. I got about 25, 30 hours into that, and I was like, you know what? I'm good right now. I have other games to play. It's the problem, man. I just want like 1 year where there's like 1 month, 2 games. Next month, 2 games. Just 2 games a month. That would be great. Not like 8 or 9 a month. It feels like that's the case. But yeah, Borderlands, that's a great game. It's a great game. I should get through these quicker, so I'm going to try to get through them quicker. Next is World War Z, which of course is the video game World War Z, not the movie. Even though I would say the World War Z game is about as long as the freaking movie. And that's not fair to say, because World War Z is very much like a Left 4 Dead game where it's just like there's different campaigns and there's different characters in each campaign. That's not like Left 4 Dead, but each campaign is like has 4 or 5, maybe even less, maybe 3 or 4 different little areas, and then by that time you get to the end, you're done, and you escape on a boat or whatever. But the fun thing about World War Z was that they had just huge amounts of zombies on screen. It was really fun. The gameplay was good enough where it kind of it was fun enough to be even more entertaining because of the amount of zombies on screen. Just shooting into a giant horde is just like a giant group of guys climbing up on each other, trying to get up a railing just to come and kill you. It's fun. I'm sorry, it's fun. I know that makes me sound sick. Shooting into a group of people is fun, but I'm talking about a game where it's zombies. That's all I'm saying. But it's fun in the game. It really is. It's fun in the game. In the game. But anyway, it was really fun. I finished all the campaigns. So there you go. Mortal Kombat 11. Speaking of murder, Mortal Kombat 11 is a great game. I don't care what anybody says. I know some people were like, I don't know, it was really disappointing. I didn't like the loot boxes. Yeah, the loot boxes were annoying. I agree. But I think everything else was great. I think the combat is excellent. I think the graphics are phenomenal. One of the best looking games of last year, in my opinion. The story mode was really fun. I'll bet it's silly. It's Mortal Kombat. All the stories from Mortal Kombat are silly. But I did a full playthrough for this. Of course, I did a whole reaction series where I reacted to pretty much every fatality released for all DLC characters and all the characters they revealed for the game as it was coming out. I'm sure a lot of people that are still watching this channel maybe became fans because of the reactions, because those did very well. But Mortal Kombat 11 is one of the best games of last year. It's in my top 5. Spoilers right there. Most likely it's in my top 5. We'll see. Maybe I'll be like, actually, I don't know. We'll see. But right now it's in my top 5. I think right now it's number 5. But Mortal Kombat 11, great game. Next, though, is a game I was very disappointed by. Still had a good time, but I was hoping it would be like a 9 out of 10 besides a 7 out of 10. Actually, to be fair, I hope every game's a 10 out of 10. But I was looking at that game thinking, this game, like last year or 2 years ago when they announced it, like I was looking at it like, this could be like a 9 out of 10. This could be a good ass game. And that game's Rage 2. Yeah, this was very disappointing. I still had a great time, mainly because the gunplay is so much fun. It's just that everything else was mediocre as fuck. Like everything else, the way everything was set up in the world itself, the enemy variety, the guns for the most part were they were good. They were fine. They were like above average. But because it was so much fun to shoot, like the shotgun, the variety of weapons wasn't really there, but because they were fun to shoot, because the gunplay felt so good, the sound design was great, it worked. Alright, sorry for that. Ooh, I made this thing fly around. Look at that. I sat down quick. Someone was calling me. Anyway, anyway, Rage 2 was disappointing. It was still fun. The gunplay itself was solid. It was really fun. The sound design was great. It's just the gun variety wasn't the best, is what I'm trying to say. And the story mode was suck ass. It was very, very bland. The mission variety was kind of lame too. I loved the original Rage when it first came out. I'm sure if I played it now, even though I did when they first announced Rage 2, I did play like a couple hours of it and still had a good time. But when it first came out, I loved it. I really did. I thought it was a good linear style game, even though it was kind of open world, but not really. It was like 40% the size of like a Borderlands, which is a very small open world game. Yeah, Rage 2, the game was fun. It lacked a lot. It did. I was hoping the world itself, like if they put Rage 2 gunplay and even the vehicular stuff in a world the quality of something like Red Dead Redemption 2, then that would be a Game of the Year contender for sure. Make an open world Doom game. Oh fuck, I would eat it. I would not. If I'm fucking kidding, I will consume it and become it. I want that in my blood. Anyway, next game was a game called Neon Junctions. This game is a digital only Xbox One and PS4 game. I played it on Xbox One. I think it's also on PC. I could be wrong. Oh, it's actually on everything. I see. There's a picture over there that's showing. It's on PS Vita, Switch. No, it's on PC. Okay, so it's on Vita, but it's on PC, which is a little weird. It's a puzzle game that you can beat in like less than an hour. It's not even that challenging too, which is it makes it kind of pointless. It's a puzzle game that's not really that challenging, but it's not bad. It has a nice look to it. It's very neon, as you would expect from the title. But it's more like a platformer type of puzzle game where you have to like figure out the combination of things you have to press to make a platform to get to the next thing and stuff. It's simple. The reason why I played it was $1, I think, maybe $2. And it was easy achievements. That's the only reason why I played it, to be honest. But it's one of the games I've beaten, so I guess I have to put it on there. Yeah, we have some more. Okay. Next is Halo 2 Anniversary. Me and my boy Gerard played this. We finished it. It was great. The cutscenes were amazing. I'm glad I finally got to play this game again. I played Halo 2 a lot when I was younger. A lot. Like, way too much, probably. Just like I play Overwatch a little bit too much now. And that's the main reason why in the last few years I haven't played too many games, because I would play Overwatch a lot. But I play a lot of Overwatch. Anyway, Halo 2 Anniversary, great game. It looks great. It's 5 years old at this point, this Anniversary Edition. And it still looks phenomenal. The freaking cutscenes made by, I think, Blur Studios? Dude, I know. They need to make a movie. I'm assuming Blur Studios is still around. I think that's their name. I could be wrong. But man, at times it's weird looking at like Johnson, like Sergeant Johnson just looking real. I'm like, it's strange. It really is. But it's a gorgeous looking remaster, and yeah, Halo 2 is still a fun game. It's a very fun game. Next is Wolfenstein Youngblood, which is I think I need to make top 5 disappointing games this year, because Rage 2, Bethesda taking 2 spots. Rage 2 and Wolfenstein Youngblood would be on there. Wolfenstein, the New Colossus, and Wolfenstein, the New Order. Both of those, the two reboots, were fantastic. Especially New Colossus. Love that game. That's like, for 2017, if Breath of the Wild didn't come out that year, that'd be my number 1. That's my number 2. Like, top 5 for that year was pretty incredible. But Wolfenstein 2 I freaking loved. I loved it so much. So I was looking forward to the sequel, especially since they teased there would definitely be a sequel at the end of Wolfenstein 2. I mean, definitely. If the game did well, of course there definitely would be. And of course later, like I think a year later, I think they teased like, oh yeah, there's a new Wolfenstein game coming, and you play as the kids of BJ Blazkowicz. I was like, whoa, and their daughters are like, yo, hell yeah, co-op. I mean, the gameplay, just like Rage 2, the gunplay is fun. It's just everything else was so either mediocre or even below mediocre. Like, the freaking attitudes of both of the main characters was not what I would expect from the kids of BJ Blazkowicz. Like, not even a little bit. They're like, oh yeah, shit yeah, bro. I'm like, what? It's like, I don't get it. I just don't get why those characters are like that. I mean, I'm not asking for them to be like BJ, but I'm just like, you live with BJ and I forgot the wife's name. I'm sorry. Anna? I think it's Anna. Anya? No, it's Anya, right? It's Anya. And both of them don't have the personalities like that. Like, I don't get it. Like, why are they like, shit, yeah, bro? You know, I don't know. It just didn't make any sense to me. And they're not really that funny. They're not really charismatic. The story itself is lame as shit, which is disappointing because the first two games are amazing when it comes to story. The way they do the narration inside BJ Blazkowicz's head in the new classes, some of that stuff is like actually gut wrenching. I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's really laying it thick, like in a good way. Yeah, this game didn't have any of that. It was just like, oh, just get to the next mission. There's a giant enemy here. You can't fight it yet until you're leveled up. I'm like, fuck you. You put microtransactions in it too. Like, blow me, really. Just fuck off. It didn't help that the characters were annoying. I finished it in like 5 hours, which is way shorter than the last game. But to be fair, it was only a $30 game, so yeah, it was disappointing. Talk about a game that is not disappointing though is Bioshock the Collection. Now, I didn't finish all three of these games. I only finished Bioshock Infinite again because I played Bioshock Remaster when the collection first came out. But Bioshock Infinite, I felt like playing again this year, and I did. I started it early in the year, and then finished it later in the year. I kind of like just stopped. I was like, oh, I want to play this game again. I got like 6-7 hours in. I was just like, yeah, I'm good. I played this game so many times. I don't need to finish it. I just want to see how the remaster was. And then later on, I was like, you know what? Let me finish it. And I finished it. It's a fantastic game. I think it still holds up. The gunplay is a lot of fun. Just switching around the different vigors that you get is really nice. I love the story. Love Elizabeth. Love Booker. Love all the stuff that happens. All the twists and turns. Bioshock Infinite is one of my favorite games of the decade. As you may know, I have a bunch of shit dedicated to Bioshock. I mean, if I get rid of this right here, you can see Elizabeth and Booker are always in my videos. At least part of them are right there. So, in one of those perler bead things. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Bioshock Infinite and Bioshock 1 too. And 2 actually. I like 2 quite a bit. Even though when I first played that game, I was really pissed because I got all the way to the end and then my save got corrupted. And I was like, I'm like 12 hours in, and then my save got corrupted. I'm like, I'm not replaying this game again. I'll just watch the end on YouTube. And of course, the ending was really good. From what I remember, I was just like, I wish I could experience that myself. I picked the good ending because I was saving all the little sisters, I believe. Yeah, I think so. That game's. I might have to go back and play that game again. Bioshock 2. The only problem I had with Bioshock 2 is the whole like tower defense sequences. I was just like, I don't know. I don't like tower defense. Like defending the little sisters as they get Adam, I think, or whatever. It was called Adam, right? Yeah. It was annoying. But anyway, let me pause real quick and get more pictures up so we can finish this list. We'll get through the rest of it pretty quickly. All right, I didn't pause it. Bye. All right, it still didn't pause. What? All right, back. I got the pause working now. I figured out what the problem was. Anyway, don't worry about it. It's fine. Everything's fine, okay? Let me take a sippy. I should have took a sippy before I started this again. Anyway, next is Headliner, which is a game that was really interesting when I first heard about it. So I was like, all right, I should get this. It was on Switch. I think it's on PC. I think it might be on Xbox and PS4 as well. But when I first got it, it was only, when it comes to consoles, it was only on Switch. It's a game all about, and to be honest, I think this is actually an old version of the game. The other one's called Nova News, to be fair. So just letting you all know, that's a new version. I think this might be an old version. But it's a game about controlling the media, I guess, controlling a newspaper. You get to control what goes out when it comes to headlines. You know, you can pick one that supports vaccines, I guess, or you can support one that supports this one ideal or whatever. Just like whatever comes onto your desk, you get to pick like 2 or 3 of them. You could support like this terrorist group that's going around like trying to destroy all the vaccination places, or like a new place that's like trying to sell a new medicine or whatever. But yeah, whatever, you can support pretty much anything you want. Of course, you'll get reprimanded for it, but and the world itself will change around you, which is really cool. Even characters that you've come to actually like know and get to like, some of them might, you know, get affected in some way. It's actually really interesting. And I played it. I beat it twice actually. I got bad ending the first time, and then I got better ending later. I kind of rushed through it the second time. I got a better ending later, but it wasn't that great. It still ended kind of poorly. So I want to play it a third time to see if I can get a really good ending. But it's highly replayable. The first time you play it, it takes about an hour. hour and a half to finish it. Second time, it's like quick. You just go through it. All right, this dialogue I've seen before. Just keep going. I think it has like, I think 2 weeks of days. I think so. Each day is you get to make different choices, and the next day you'll see the outcome. You know what I mean? It's actually interesting. I recommend it. It's only like I think $13 I think on Switch, so it's pretty good. Anyway, next is Gears 5, which is another disappointment this year, I think. While it's fun to play as Jack, which I play most of the game as Jack, the little flying robot that shoots a little electric beam, I think the game itself does not really benefit from its more open world environments. I think if anything, it just makes the game longer and kind of tedious. The story itself was not as good as I thought it would be, because a lot of reviewers are saying like it's actually really, really good and has like really emotional moments and stuff. I'm like, not really. Like, I don't know. I didn't really get a feeling for that, and I was excited for it because 2 years ago they showed that one clip of her like reacting. Cat? Is it Cat? It's Cat. Reacting to like somebody dying. I'm just like, well, this is actually pretty good. It's a good scene, and it's a good scene in the game too. It's just everything else is kind of like slow, and some of the dialogue was fine. Some of it was funny here and there. And I guess the characters are likable enough, and there's some things that are interesting that they don't really explain too much in the game, but it's just, I don't know. I didn't care for it too much. The ending promises a lot, though, especially with a choice you make at the end. It's very promising for the 6th game, but it's definitely better when it comes to like progressing the story than the 4th game, which the 4th game felt like it was just a romp. Like it felt like an Uncharted game with all the fucking like quips that all the characters were like shooting out. This one feels more like a Gears of War game. Anyway, which is funny because now it's not even called Gears of War anymore. But anyway, next is Undertale. Finally played Undertale. I'm sorry I never finished my playthrough for this game. And most likely it's going to stay unfinished. I apologize. But yeah, Undertale was a great game. I really, really, really enjoyed it. It was a great game. Obviously, I finished it. Full playthrough is done. It's probably not going to go up. Sorry. But yeah, Undertale's a great game. It really is. And maybe next time I'll do better at it. But right now, it's a great game. And I want to play it again in the future. I loved it. And it finally justified me buying a $70 collector's edition for a game I never even played. I bought it like 4 years ago. And I never played it until this year. Or this year passed. So cool. Next is Halo Reach. I want to get through it quicker. Halo Reach, this is not the Master Chief Collection version, even though the poster is for the Master Chief Collection version. That's the only reason why I picked this is because it's a high quality version. I played the regular version on Xbox One. So I guess not regular version, it was the upper-res version. And it was still great. It had some lag to it. Me and my friend Gerard played it just like we played Halo 2. It had some lag to it, which I thought was very interesting considering it's an older game, I get it, but like you'd figure the lag wouldn't be a case anymore because there's not as many people playing it, but I guess they also don't have as many servers. I don't know. And it wasn't either of our connections. It was just laggy. But I know the new version's out now. I would like to see how good that looks now. But yeah, it was good to go back to it. It's a fun campaign. It's a really fun one. A lot of really great set pieces. When it comes to the story itself, it's actually more depressing than fun, obviously. But the stuff you do in the story mode is a lot of fun. Just being able to fly around in those ships is really cool. Just for one level, but it was really cool. Felt like a Star Wars game, not a Halo game. All right, next is this the next one? Yes, it is. Dead Space, baby. Finally played this. I've seen so many playthroughs of this game, so I already knew what happened. But I never played it myself because I was too much of a scaredy pants. But we played it for Games Gone By this year, just like we did for Undertale, which is our series where it's a retrospective series where we look back at some older games. And this was one of them because it was October, so play a scary game. And it scared the shit out of me. It was a great game. It's really fun. It still holds up. It still looks really good too. And I don't know where the fuck the Dead Space series is, but that's a series that should continue, especially since horror is making a huge comeback, especially survival horror with Resident Evil and isn't there something else? Am I forgetting something? Well, Resident Evil back. Resident Evil's back. So Dead Space coming back would be really nice. Isn't there something else? Am I forgetting something? I feel like I'm forgetting something. There has to be something. What else is there? Yo, horror stuff is there. I'm talking to my games. Maybe they'll pop one out. No, I'm looking at my game. I can't see one. Resident Evil's enough. So Dead Space, bring it back, baby. Come on, EA. You know what to do. All right? Fucking make up for past wrongs. Come on. Next is Zelda Link's Awakening. Freaking love this game. This is probably in my top 5, probably number 4 right now as of thinking about it, I guess, in my list. It's such a wonderful game. When it comes to art styles, this has probably my favorite of this year. Grease came out in 2018, so that doesn't count. Of games I played in 2019, Grease has a better art style. But of games that actually came out in 2019, Link's Awakening, just love it. I love the way it looks. It looks so good. It's fun. It's a regular old classic Zelda adventure. It's Link's Awakening. If you ever played it, it's the same game except way better looking. It's a lot of fun. Great game, and even has some emotional moments, especially towards the end where I'm like, wow, I'm actually got me. Because I never finished Link's Awakening when I was a kid. I got pretty far, if I remember correctly, but I never finished it. And it was a really nice surprise at the end. I'm just like, wow, that really got me. I mean, I knew where it was going because I remember that's the big twist, but I'm just like, still got me, man. There's a line like halfway through the game where it was like, oh my god, is this good? It's gonna make me cry. It didn't, but it was still really good. All right, next game is a game that made me cry, and that is DokiDoki Literature Club, but that was for a completely different reason. Now, of the 2 playthroughs for the games that we covered in Games Gone By, this game I actually finished the playthrough, so if you want to watch the playthrough, go ahead. I'm thinking about going back and doing all the extra stuff, because I haven't watched any videos about that extra stuff yet. So I might still do that in the future, so we'll see. Maybe next month. We'll see. If people really want it, let me know in the comments. But DokiDoki Literature Club was great. Of course, a lot of reading, a lot of watching some weird shit happen. About 2 hours into the game is where it really fucking just goes and, yeah, it changes, let's just say. I don't want to say anything else about it, just in case some people don't know what it is. Go play it. It's a good little nice dating sim. Go watch it. You gotta go play it. Enjoy it. Great game. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This is where I think EA is learning, okay? Because they want to make all these Star Wars freaking premium fee to pay, I guess, as Jim Sterling coined a game series that will be like Destiny. I guess they wanted to make a Star Wars game series that was like that. And it never happened, but now we got a legitimate single player, no multiplayer, 15-hour, decently told Star Wars story. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this game. The Dark Souls combat was a great way to go when it comes to making a lightsaber focused game. The story itself was pretty good. It got better as it went on, as we met more and more characters. Yeah, it was a great game. When it comes to gameplay, I loved it. The only problem I had with the game is that it went a little bit too far with the Dark Souls route, to the point where it should be more Metroidvania. And what I like in a lot of Metroidvania games is the ability to fast travel in the environments. And you can't really do that. So if you want to go from here all the way to here to go collect an item, there's no like way to fast travel there. You just have to like maneuver through it, and it got really annoying. So I stopped trying to collect everything. I wanted to, but I was like, I have other games to play, collectibles. I shouldn't be wasting my time here. So I probably just played Overwatch right after that. So it's not a waste of time. I'm getting better at that game. I'm always getting better. Every game I get better. Next is Forager, which is a game I almost didn't put on here because it's a game that kind of keeps getting updates, but I finished every single thing as of when I played it. I finished every single thing you could do. All the different like pieces of land you could buy, all the different challenge things, all the different like collectible things that you have to like collect certain things and put it into like a library or whatever. Finished all that. Really fun game. It's like Stardew Valley on crack, pretty much. It has like that kind of pixel art style, except way more simplistic. You unlock more and more parts of the environment, which is not like Stardew, but whatever. Even though Stardew has like unlocking different areas in the world, it doesn't have quite like this where you actually legit like, hey, I want to create a new part of the land. Like bam, and a big part of the land just pops up, and you're like, whoa. This game is definitely more casual. You can probably get through it pretty quick. It is definitely a lot of fun. It would actually be a great mobile game. I don't know if it is on mobile, but I could see this being incredibly well done on mobile and being a lot of fun. Really fun game. Really enjoyed it. One of my favorites of the year. I wouldn't put it in. I might put it in my top 10. I don't know. I really had a good time with that game. Next is a game called Fractured Minds. This was a game that I think it was like $1. I could be wrong. Let me why is it showing that? Whatever. It's a game. It's a short story about by Emily Mitchell. It says right there. And she's I think. Oh, it says right there, 17. Thank you. I couldn't remember how old she was. She was really young when she made this. She made a game all about like mental illness and stuff, but it's not exactly about that. It's not really. I mean, it is about that, but it's not. It's not like someone talk about like mental illness in the game, and it's about like somebody that has mental illness. It's actually in the mind of somebody with mental illness, and they kind of she used a way of like telling the story, but also being a game and having some visual flair to it, and also having some creepy moments too. It's actually really good. It's only about 30-40 minutes long. It's really short. I got it because it was really cheap, and it was good for what it was. I actually recommend it. It was actually kind of creepy. It has a couple of puzzles where I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty well done. I actually like this. You have to stay out of the light sometimes. Sometimes you have to like follow a bunch of people on a street to find like symbols on their backs. It's very strange, but I actually recommend it. I recommend Fractured Minds, and it's cheap, so yeah, and it's for a good cause. So definitely do that. Next is Sayonara Wild Hearts. I finished a lot of really, really short games this year, obviously. I think that was pretty much the same thing for 2018. But Sayonara Wild Hearts is a fantastic game. It's a rhythm game that is visually beautiful. You know what? I take it back. This is probably tied with Link's Awakening when it comes to art direction. This game is great. I've been wanting to play it since it came out. I remember they announced this last year or 2 years ago, I guess, at this point, at the Game Awards. I was like, that looks interesting. It looked good, and I was like, you know what, I want to get that when it comes out. And then it came out, and I got it, and it was really good. So I'm glad I played it. It's like barely an hour long, but it's very replayable, and I recommend replaying it for sure. Try to get better scores and stuff. It's really fun, very trippy, but really fun, really fun. So I recommend it. So there you go. That's Sayonara Wild Hearts. Next is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, which I actually finished back in 2018 when it first came out, and played it again for Games Gone By. So I finished that again. Took me like an hour and a half. Another quick game, really great. I highly recommend it. And the last game was Inside, which is a game we did for Games Gone By as well. Great game. Took me about 4 hours, maybe tops, to finish, but I finally played it. I'm happy I did. I've been wanting to play it for a long time. I just never got around to it, and I finally had a legit excuse to play it, and I did. So there you go. That is all 26, I believe, unless I miscounted, games I finished for 2019. Please tell me in the comments what your games were. And I know this video is way longer than my last one. And when I do this next year, even if I beat a lot more games, I'll make sure to try to tone it down, because some of these videos go on way fucking too long. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Either way, thank you, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, and again, tell me in the comments what you finished and what you played and whatever. Just tell me anything. I don't care. I don't care. Just tell me anything. What color your socks are? How big was your last turd you made? Don't tell me that. Don't tell me. I don't.